Symbols, the hidden code of reality. What if I told you that your reality is not just something you experience? It's something that's being communicated to you constantly, not through words or logic, but through symbols. And the most powerful part? You've been trained to respond to them, even without realizing it. I'm Robert Christopher. This is Conscious Creator. The language beneath language. Excuse me. Before language, there were symbols. Symbols are not just images, they are compressed packets of meaning, a direct transmission to the subconscious mind. They bypass logic and go straight to perception. Ancient civilizations understood this deeply. From sacred geometry to mythological archetypes, symbols were used to encode reality itself. Because when you influence perception, you influence reality. You don't experience reality as it is. You experience reality as you interpret it. And symbols are the filters. Also, pay attention to color as well, because there is a psychology to the colors that are used in symbols. A red light doesn't just mean stop. It feels like stop. A symbol doesn't just represent something. It conditions your response to it. Emotion, meaning, identity. And once perception is shaped, your thoughts, actions, and beliefs follow. This is how reality is quietly constructed. The unseen programming system, if you will. Now here's where it gets real. You are surrounded by symbols every single day. On your phone, on your money, in media, in architecture. And most of them are not random. They are, in fact, designed to capture your attention, anchor emotion, reinforce belief systems, and guide your behavior, all below your conscious awareness. You don't debate a symbol, you absorb it. Let's make this more understandable by using a few well-known examples, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's look at the Starbucks coffee logo, the siren. At first glance, it's just coffee, right? But the logo is a siren, a mythological symbol of attraction and enchantment. Not force, but invitation. Not control, but seduction. Notice the earthy, soothing green color. Red doesn't work. And what does Starbucks really sell? Well, not just coffee, but a ritualized experience, a feeling, an identity. This symbolic influence through repetition and association. Let's look at the Nike swoosh. Simple, minimal, powerful. The swoosh represents motion and victory, rooted in the Greek goddess Nike. But here's what it really does. It creates identity. When you wear Nike, you're not just wearing a brand. You're aligning with a symbolic archetype, strength, discipline, and achievement. And over time, you begin to embody it. Let's look at the eye on the dollar bill. Power and perception. Look at the dollar bill. There's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye. This symbol represents authority, oversight, and structure. The feeling that something exists above you, observing, whether consciously noticed or not. That perception leaves an imprint. Let's look at political symbols. Identity programming. Politics doesn't just run on ideas, it runs on symbols. Red versus blue. Again, notice the colors. Donkey versus elephant. These become identity markers. And once someone identifies with a symbol, now their perception aligns with it. Not truth, but symbolic loyalty. Let's look at social media. Digital symbol programming. The heart, red. The notification bell, red. The red dot. These are modern hieroglyphs. A red notification creates urgency. There is a psychology to color. A heart creates validation. These symbols are directly tied to dopamine responses. They don't just inform, they condition behavior. Symbols are not just psychological, they are energetic. They carry meaning across multiple layers. Conscious, subconscious, archetypal. Ancient traditions knew this. Symbols like the eye, the sun, the serpent, they weren't decoration. They were maps of consciousness. But here's the truth. The same tools used to awaken people can also be used to influence and control them. Because if you control the symbols, now you influence perception. And if you influence perception, you influence reality. So what do? We don't fear symbols, we decode them. Because once you see the symbol, you see the pattern. And once you see the pattern, you take your power back. Now you begin to ask, what am I being shown? What does this represent? How is this shaping my perception? Discernment, right? Because awareness breaks the spell. Once you become aware, you begin to notice that symbolism is everywhere. The truth is really hiding in plain sight. So, pay more attention when you're out driving around town and be discerning as always. And you will see how ridiculously obvious the use of symbols are. Symbols are easy yet powerful because we don't question or we don't debate a symbol. We just absorb it. We don't have to think about it. We just feel it. It's a psychological game. So learn to play the game consciously. Thanks for watching Conscious Creator. I'm Robert Christopher. Stay conscious, stay powerful, stay authentic, and keep creating. And as always, follow the rabbit. Thank you.